Let me tell you about the things that you can do in Manning. There are plenty of them. The first and foremost, though, is just relax. There are 5 swings down here, numerous rockers, there are some great beds, so take it easy. And once you've rested, you can explore the ruins of the old sawmill, you can hike, you can see the remnants of the old town, and look at Sawmill Lake, the beaver dens that are there. You can walk to the old lost black cemetery, or just walk through the pine plantations, go on down to what they used to call Dirty Street, up Sweet Gum Valley, go over by Pumpkin Hill. You can walk over to Possum Trot, over to the old schoolyard. Then you go down to Hollow Hill, where some believe that ghosts still hang out. Just walk on over to Mill Creek, the site of the old bridge that was the entrance to town. Then walk down the railroad tracks. And on the way, you can stop by the overflow from Sawmill Lake and just listen to the waterfall. Just sit there and hang your feet in the cool water. Now, you ought to fish in Sawmill Lake among those old sunken logs. It's some of the best bass fishing that you're going to find anywhere. And this is the place to experience nature at its finest as you watch the birds and the butterflies and even the deer, red fox, and occasionally a bobcat. Then in the middle of the afternoon, you should sit on the front porch of the mansion and swing, or on the rockers, or maybe on your balcony or on the deck of the Beaver Creek Lodge. Sit under the gazebo, or you can walk through the flowers and the herb gardens. But on the way, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. You know, you really deserve to just sit or read or write or sleep or just do nothing. It's really okay. It would probably be a good time to get acquainted or reacquainted with your spouse. Maybe pamper them a little bit. Then in the morning, enjoy one of the best breakfasts that you will ever have. My sisters will make that for you, and buddy, she's had a lot of practice. Then after breakfast, drive into Lufkin, only about 20 minutes away, for some fine dining or shopping, or maybe you want to go to Dean's Meat Market up in Huntington for lunch or dinner. That's only about 10 minutes away. Go over to the Texas Forestry Museum in Lufkin. It's the only one in Texas. You can also go see the Museum of East Texas, or go over to the Ellen Trout Zoo. It's the best small town zoo anywhere. And then you may want to go over to the History Center in Diboll and find out more about sawmills, sawmill towns. Then if you're into that thing, you can drive over to Sam Rayburn Lake. Manning has really a long and an interesting history. There are stories of buried treasure, Mexican gold, and caves along the Neches River, about Palmetto Flats, and axe murderers, and timber rattlers, and wild hogs, and mad dogs, and alligators, and stories about saloons, prohibition, whiskey stills, stories about train robberies, and then lavish parties, and big dances, and country clubs, and fast horses, stories about pigs that fly, and hard work, and tough men and women, and segregation. There's stories about mysterious fires, and trains, and coach whip snakes, and huge timber where 2 men worked all day long to cut up just one tree. We know stories about rabid skunks, and some of us know stories about rabbits that will actually attack you, and skunks that don't stink, and large bull bats and dogfish known as the grinnell, which still live in the mill pond. I tell you a lot of stories about piney wood rooters, and armadillos, and possums, and tickle-tongue trees, and cow dogs. A lot of stories about telephoning fish. And if that didn't work, just throw in a little dynamite. You can hear stories of romance and tragedy. And I guess the last and the most dramatic one is the sad account of Manning's demise. As you listen to Herbert Hamilton's poem called Dirge, you will see how deeply it affected so many people. Now, these are all stories. Some of them are true and some are not. But they all converged to shape our memory about the town that was at the very heart of the Texas Forest Country called Manning, Texas.